Hello everyone, this is Dr. Lakshmi Pandey, Assistant Professor, Department of English, TAV College, Kanpur. This PPT is for the students of BA First Year English according to new education policy. It is the first chapter of Unit 5th, Babar's Trade Union by Mulkraj Anand. Hello everyone, this is the first part of the lecture that introduces you about the author. It is very much essential for you all to know about the author about whom you are going to study. Actually, there are some questions before going through the writer, poet, essayist, novelist or story writer. The type of writer he is, in which genre he belongs to, the themes he prefers, the purpose of his writing. As we all know, there are some writers who want to bring reform in the society, while others write to entertain the society. And there are others also who write to quench their own thirst. They have nothing to do with the society. So literature divides these writers in two categories. One is art for art's sake and another is arts for life's sake. Mulkraj Anand belongs to the category of art for life's sake, as he writes for the social cause. Now about Mulkraj Anand. Mulkraj Anand was a prominent novelist with a vision and mission. He focused his attention to give voice to marginalized people. His works revolve around the human beings. He was a strong believer of art for life's sake. He was not the precursor of art for art's sake. It was his faith that an artist can contribute immensely towards the social change. Throughout his academic career, he produced more than a dozen novels, half a dozen collection of short stories. In almost all his works, we find trials and tribulations of oppressed people of the society. His purpose behind choosing the oppressed class as his protagonists was to bring change in the society and arouse consciousness of the readers. As a humanist, he wrote with the object to teach the fundamental principles of human life, with a special focus on freedom and equality of human life. His works revealed his social commitment, and he very courageously exposed the imperial masters, the moneylenders, native rulers, traders, and priests. He was a social realist who gave a new height to Indian novel. He followed the tradition of Tagore and Munshi Premchand in his works. He welcomed the progressive outlook while presenting the class and caste problems of Indian society. He was also well aware about the power of Indian values and culture. He was also influenced by Gandhian ideology. Gandhiji always wanted to eliminate poverty, superstition, caste, discrimination, and untouchability from India. A minute observation of Anand's work gives us the glimpses of pre-independent India, and Gandhian ideology can be seen in his works. This is the second part of the lecture, the critical appreciation of the chapter Babar's Trade Union. It has been informed in the introduction that Mulkraj Anand is a writer of oppressed and downtrodden class. The story Babar's Trade Union has been taken from his collection of short stories. The story is narrated in the first person by a young unnamed boy. The title of the story is very appropriate as it presents the story of a struggle of a barber who establishes a Babar's union and brings a change in the society. At surface level, we find the story presents the theme of caste and class conflict of pre-colonial India. But as the plot develops, we find the themes of alienation, arrogance, independence, and freedom. Chandu, the protagonist of the story, belongs to the lower class society. Mulkraj Anand tells the story of pre-colonial India, where people used to judge not by their merits but by their caste. Chandu is judged on the basis of social and traditional hierarchy that is imposed on him by higher class. As the story starts, the writer places Chandu among the makers of modern India. Chandu and narrator are friends. He knows Chandu since his childhood. Narrator is only 6 months younger to Chandu, but Chandu shows his perfection in almost all the works, like catching wasps and pressing the poison from their tails. He also ties the tiny legs of insects to cotton threads to fly them. He also makes paper kites of very delicate design and balance, where narrator finds himself inferior in doing all these things. Chandu's performance in math is not satisfactory due to hierarchical profession and tradition which is bound to do, and due to that he fails to attend school regularly. But he is good in reciting poetry and amazingly learns the verses from his textbook and prose lines also. Chandu used to get scholarships due to his performance in his studies. Through the narrator, Anand presents the mentality of modern India. He does not like the traditional hierarchy. He rejects the accepted notions of high class. Chandu has to go to villager's house for hair cutting and shaving. All goes well according to the order of the society, but one day a small event brings tremendous change not only in the life of Chandu but in the life of so called self proclaimed caretaker of the society. Once, while going to different places for his work, he develops an attraction for the medical profession as he has got some unique tips from his father to cure some diseases. Under this impression, the innocent boy Chandu wears a dress of a doctor named Khan. The high class people of conservative society does not permit him to wear the dress like a doctor because only he belongs to a lower class family and he has got his birth only to serve the higher class people of the society. The landlord, the priest, the shahukar, and the other people belong to higher class humiliate Chandu for no fault, except wearing a dress like a doctor. Here, two characters are representative of modern Indian society. A sharp comparison can be seen here. One is narrator, who presents the mentality of upper class. The second is Chandu, who presents the modern mentality of lower class. Chandu is expelled from the house of a higher class. His anger thus changes into revolt. He decides to teach a lesson to these orthodox upper class people. He stops going to upper class house for shaving, hair cutting, and for his earnings he increases by paying many visits to the town. Within a few days, he collects money for his survival. Now, the whole village faces many problems and inconvenience. But Chandu is so intelligent that his contemporary at Varka, the place, they also becomes the part of his strategy. So with the result, all the villagers look horrible due to their long hairs, long beard, and mustache. They all become a subject of laughter. Chandu becomes success in his plan of non-cooperation. They all face a very difficult situation and being a leadership quality, Chandu summons all the Babars in the purview of 7 miles and convince him to support him. Chandu thus becomes success and gets victory over the villagers. It is not the victory of Chandu but it is the victory of justice, morality, and human dignity. Chandu becomes success in maintaining his self respect. He controls the odd situation and forces the villagers to follow him. He frees himself from social prejudices and becomes success his and to restore the dignified place in the village. So, Chandu, with his firm determination, courage, and leadership qualities, not only maintains his dignity but also restores the lost respect and honor of his family. Thus, Mulk Raj Anand presents the picture of modern India through the character of Chandu and through the character of narrator also. He wants to convey us about the mentality, modern mentality of higher class people. Thank you. This is the third part of the lecture. We all are informed about the pathetic condition of Chandu. Chandu has to carry domestic responsibilities on his shoulders at very early age as his father dies of plague. Due to this tragic incident, he stops going to school and he has to make errands to the notables in the village to meet the challenges of day-to-day life. Chandu is the embodiment of perfection. He not only perfect in doing works in his professional life as well as in his personal life also. Author depicts his perfection in catching wasps, tying their legs to fly them. He makes very beautiful kites. In spite of all these things, Chandu is a good scholar. Due to odd circumstances, he fails to attend the school, but he learns lines of prose and he recites those lines in such a manner that they seem like poetry. He also gets a scholarship for his studies. Even after many peculiar qualities, narrator feels inferior to Chandu. Chandu has good leadership quality also. On the basis of his leadership quality, Chandu comes at the top. He becomes success in bringing revolution in the society. To prove his sound presence in the society, he meets the barbers of different places and unites them with his strategies. He is dignified and self-respect boy. Being a writer of downtrodden, Anand focuses his attention on dignity and self-respect of poor and low-caste people. The whole story revolves around the dignity and self-respect of Chandu. He is insulted and humiliated by a so-called upper caste caretaker of the society. In revenge, he not only maintains his dignity and self-respect, but restores the respect and honor of the family. So Chandu becomes a revolutionary figure in the society. He is brave and courageous. He doesn't fear from the upper caste people when they all become unite to defeat and insult him. He fights against the caste system and manages to turn the things in his favor. Chandu earns love and respect in his community. Chandu is a firm, determined boy. Chandu becomes success in turning the situation in his favor due to his firm determination. He never thinks to surrender himself against all these circumstances. Rather, he seeks tough circumstances as opportunities. He searches his better future.